Hello everyone. Hello my dear students. Today we will be discussing on the swine production management. This is for your Animal Science 3. This session we will be discussing on the different types of breeds and on the characteristics of different breeds. No? So we'll be discussing on the taxonomical classification, the situations of the swine industry, and the different factors that would affect the production and business in swine. And also discussing about the breeds and breeding, and the different configurations and characteristics of those breeds. And of course, we'll be talking about crossbreeding, and we'll be showing you a different breeds, no? Okay, so then how to select swine for breeding. Okay, so yun ang mga titingnan natin sa araw na ito. So but for now, let me go back to our slide proper. Alright. Okay, slideshow. Okay, so this is swine production. Of course, your instructor will be Dr. Rodim Kamay, that is yours truly. Alright. Okay, first you have to look at the taxonomical classification of the swine. No? Okay, so go back muna. So let's use my pin now. I have to use my pin. I think I'd like color black. Okay. So taxonomical classification. So the phylum where the swines belongs to chordata, or the vertebrates, which contain the backbone. So meron mga backbone ito. Okay. Of course, kung walang backbone, invertebrates yun. And belongs to swine belongs to a class Mammalia, means to say a milk-giving animal, and it belongs to order Artiodactyla, or even toed. So yung tiil nila is kanang pantay, no? Kung makita naman yung kuko is yung kuko pantay, even toed, hopped animals. So meron siyang hopped sa iyang kuko. Belongs to the family Suidae, meaning say non-ruminants, or simple stomach animals, non-ruminants, no? Sorry, go back. Simple stomach animals, non-ruminants. So ang ilang digestive system is the same as with human. Okay? So belong to a genus Sus, and species is Scropa. So mean to say, scientific name niya is Suscropa kung wild pigs in Europe, or kaya Sus bitatus, wild pig in East India, and Sus domesticus kung domesticated pigs, no, the ones that we have been tended, we have been in our backyard. So that is the taxonomical classification. So the lowest level of classification is the species. Ganon din sa tanom, ganon din sa lowest level of classification species. So this is the taxonomical classification of swine. When we say taxonomical, we're talking about the namings, no, and nomenclature. So taxonomical classifications of swine. So there you have it. So try to familiarize with that. So what happens to the industry in the Philippines? No, in 2010, that is from the Philippine Statistic Authority, we have 13.6 million heads inventory of swine, so in 2010. But this is different now because 2020 na tayo. So tingnan natin ang data niyan. Then there is a 1.46 decline inventory and numbers of birds. So nagkababa ang gidaghanon sa ato ang mga baboy, no, nagagamay pud ang iyang mga anak. Okay, so backyard in the industry is 71% backyard and 29% commercial. Meaning to say, daghan jud ang nagbuhi sa mga backyard, sa mga balay-balay kaysa commercial scale. So meaning to say, it is great importance that we have to look into the backyard system of rearing because silang pinakadaghan. Our per capita consumption ngatong kanang gikaon nato nga karne nga meat per year kada tao is the per capita consumption was 14.87 kilogram excluding the processed meat, no, excluding the processed meat. So tingnan po that. So on average, Filipinos have been consuming 14.87 kilogram of pork in a year, no, that is on average. Okay, so there are some factors that would affect the profit or cost of production and eventually would affect the our businesses in swine industry. Okay, so our profit of course will be affected by reproduction. Okay, kana bitaw nga giun sa pagtan-aw kung nangulag ba tong baboy, unsay klase sa baboy nga tong gibuhi, no, so ang breedings also affect the profit and cost of production. Kung imong baboy is mga Bisaya, so of course dugay mo tubo, so daw gasto, so lugi, no, taas ang gasto. And also ang profit and cost of production is affected by sound management. Kung maayo ka mag-manage, master ka mo baboy, so of course taas imong ginansya, babae mo ang gasto. And also affected by feeds and feeding. So kung pagkaon nimo is walay quality nga feeds, walay nutrients, so hinay, no, or kaya ang ipagkaon mo mahal or sobra ka mahal, so cost of production taas. So feeds and feeding, the quality of feeds makaapekto sa atong ikaon, no. And also ang kaning mga sakit-sakit, health and diseases also affect the profit or cost of production. So take note for that. So reproduction, gamay anak, daghag anak, so depende, no, depende pud sa breed nga imong gibuhi, basin o gagmayon ginag anak or gagmay ginaslahin na sila motubo, eventually that would affect the profit cost of production. So yun ang mga factors, so take note for that. But siguro nakasulay naman tagbuhi og mga baboy, hibalota kung sa mga posible makaapekto sa ilang mga tubo, no. Kinaiya pud sa mag atiman, no, ang behavior of the herdsman or the owner. So dili maayo tamaran, so sound management, baboy dili atiman nun. So yun, daghan usay pod kanang watay kapalit page sa ato ang socio-economic status, no, sobra ka pobre, wa jud ibahugan lang ang tao ng baboy ug mga sagbot-sagbot, so luoy ang baboy. So makaapekto pod ang income sa nagatiman sa pagtubo sa iyang giatimang baboy. So ingana. So take note for that. So we have different types of breeds, no, and the breeding system in the Philippines. So the breeds and breeding system. Okay. Of course, the performance of pigs is influenced by its environment. Okay, kung dili maayo ang iyang gipuy-an, perminti lang kaulanan, ang iyang environment, pwede na po siya mainitan, luoy siya, no? So, the performance of pigs is influenced by its environment. In fact, environments constitute about 70% and its genetic potential o ang iyang lahi, no? So, okay. Bisan pag imo siyang ibutang sa maayong kulungan, mayong pagkaon pero gagmayon gid ang iyang kaliwat, gagmay dyan na siya. Pero bisan pag agwapo ang iyang genetic potential, bisan pa og maayo ang iyang genes, pero ibutang pud mo siya sa pangit nga environment, sobrang init, sobrang ulan, nahugaw kaayo, so dili pud makita ang iyang potential gene tungod kay dili man maayo ang environment. So therefore the genetic potentials can be expressed on its full potential only when it is put in a proper environment. So, yung pa nila, di ba, ang performance or production bisan pa og sa plants and animals should be affected by the environment plus gene, and also affected by the interactions of the genes and environment. Okay, so take note for that. So therefore, we need to have a proper choice of breeding system leads to a genetic improvement. So proper choice of breeding system. So kung magbreed ta, atong pilion kung dagko balik kaliwat, maayo banig mga kaliwat. So kung anay, dagko tong anay atong pabridan sa mga dagko nga akal. So maayo ang pagbreed, no? We have different breeding system. So atong Bisaya atong i-upgrade nga baboy, upgrade dito to sa hybrid para magwapo yang kaliwat. The proper choice of breeding system leads to genetic improvement. We have different breeding system. We have pure breeding, inbreeding, line breeding, but we have to take that on the later chapter. So we have different pure breeds, no? Okay. So this one is landrace. This one is a landrace, no? Look at the ears, droopy, pababa ang iyang dunggan. This is landrace, no? Landrace breed, pure breed. Okay, ito isa na po iyang dunggan pataas, no? Okay. Pwede namin nga this is large white or Yorkshire. Large white, no? Or another term is pwede Yorkshire. This one is Hampshire. Kaya merong hump siyang tubang hump, no? This is the Hampshire. Tungod kina ay white stripe sa iyang hump. Hampshire. Look at this. This is the hump. So iyang hump mayroong puti. So kaya ito itong Hampshire. And ito naman mayroong puti siyang tiil, siyang simud, no? Tawag ni siya og Berkshire, murag B ang iyang tiil nagbakya og puti. Berkshire. Let's think about that. You have the this is Berkshire, no? Nawala. But anyway, this is Berkshire. This one is Durok. This is the Durok. This one is Petrain, no? Ang Petrain is maayo siya pang karne. So take note mo that. This is the Landrace. This one is the Landrace. This one is the Landrace. This one is the Yorkshire or large white. This one is the Hampshire. This one is the Berkshire, nagbakya, Durok, and the Petrain. So look at that pure breeds, no? So there are some different characteristics of the pure breeds. So ang Landrace, of course, the color is white. Ears is hanging. Meat type siya. Origin is from Denmark. The longest breed, ang Landrace, the longest breed, good mothers. Mayam atiman siyang anak, a prolific, daghag anak, no? But ang iyang isa niya ka disadvantage or siya weak legs, labi na ang iyang pangulahian nga tiil, dali ra makiang, no? Dali ra mapiang. So large white, of course, another pure breed. We have white ears, ang iyang dunggan nagbarog, no? Kaya nga sinabi ko kanina, ang dunggan sa large white is erect. Ito for that, no? Ito. This is the large white. Ang dunggan niya is standing or erect. Compared to the Landrace, ang iyang dunggan padung sa yuta, kaya Landrace. Padung sa yuta ang iyang dunggan. Kato namang Yorkshire, pataas. Okay? So, ang large white is for meat purpose and originated from England. Fertile, no? Dali siya manganak. high quality meat, fast grower, excellent milkers, known as mother breed or a good mothering ability. So maayos lang matiman silang mga anak kining mga large white, daghan silang anak. So the Berkshire katong nagbakya og puti, this is the Berkshire. So we have black with 6 white points. Okay, air, standing ang air. So look at the Berkshire. Go back to the Berkshire. Yeah, like this one. Okay. So ang type is for large. Ang country of origin ng Berkshire is England. But observation is we have a short black skin with 6 white points, more resistant to disease compared to white breeds. So mga Berkshire is mga ligon sila sa mga sakit-sakit, no? This one is resistant to disease, no? Resistant to disease. Mga dugay sila mag sakit kini sila kumpara sa mga puti nga mga baboy. Okay? Resistant to disease. So take note ha, the Berkshire sorry, this is the Hampshire. Ito pala isa. So this is ito pala. So erase muna natin. So ito pala ang Berkshire. This is the Berkshire, sorry. Berkshire, okay? And we have the Hampshire. Look at the spelling. Ayan yung Hampshire, Hamp. So the Hampshire, black with white band. So marong white band sa kanyang hump. Okay? So air is standing. Look at the air. And meat purposes. And Hampshire is originated from USA. So belted pig. So mayroong belt sa kanyang hump. Mayroong bakos. Short, good quality meat, strong legs. Strong legs ito. Then the Durok, yung kanina yung red or golden color. So kung taon mo iyang dunggan sa dos of the Durok, dili kayo dungo, dili po kayo erect. So mura og average lang, no? So look at that. So Durok for meat purpose and also originated from USA. A good constitution, strong legs, a fast grower, resistance to stress. So good constitution ibig sabihin mayo ang iyang lawas og porma. For that. Okay? Okay siya. So then pit train, ito yung pit train natin. We have the pit train, ito yung kabang as the pit train. So the pit train, black and white, standing a very meaty, that is good for meat, no? Ang pit train is maayo gini siya sa karne. Gamay ra siya og fat, no? Yang thickness ng iyang fat is nipis, no? Of course, pit train from Belgium. Very meaty, and ang iyang very meaty ham and very meaty loin, very susceptible to stress. Ang problema lang niya is dali ra kay siya ma-stress. Kailangan mo siya og sound and very good management kay dali ra siya maluya. Okay, yeah. So there you have it. There's some different characteristic. There are some different breeds. We have the Philippine native breeds. Ito yun, no? Murag baboy ihas, taon niya. This one. Okay. Then we have the Mission in China. So, like dagway, no? This is the Mission in China. So, naipakapareho siya halos sa Berkshire. Pero wala lang siya puti sa iyang simod. So, look at the difference. The Mission, China. So, we have different crossbreeds, no? If we are to cross the Dorok and Pitrin, sa muna ang resulta, no? Kabang may pagka bulaw, itom. So, crossbreed sa Dorok and Pitrin. Then, crossbreed ng Hampshire and Dorok Boar. So, kanipod. Product of crossbreeding between pure breeds. Okay? Mga hybrid pigs, no? Ito na, we have the two pigs, we have the hyper, no? Mga hybrids. Okay? So, there are different hybrids. Okay. Now, how to select breeds for our herd? Okay. So, selection, Well, we have been in our daily lives, we have been selecting things, no? Mili kita katong kasagaran piliun kana yung maayo, no? Uh, so aron makapili ta dapat natin daghang kapilian. So therefore, in isa sa breeding, it is very important in breeding that there must be a variation, there must be a different sources so that we can select. Okay? So selection, it is a systematic way of choosing desired characteristics for breeding. So desired characteristics. So di po pwedeng mamili tanong nga ng undesirable ang characteristics. So kailangan piliin na to maayo, ligon sa sakit, dali mo tubo, ug bugat ug timbang sa mga baboy, no? Kana nga atong talahon. Na fast grower, dali mo tubo. So selection. Again, requirement for selection, there must be a variation so that we can select. Okay. So of course, our objectives in selections for sa animal or swine industry, so we have to select the large litter size, daghag mga anak, no? Large litter size. Ang litter size mo, sinabing litter, kailang gidaghanon sa anak. Okay? So kung daghag anak atong pilion, that is prolific or prolificacy. So piliyon na to kanang paspas mo tubo, fast growers. Piliyon na to ang efficient feed converter. I mean to say is kanang feeds nga atong gibahog, dali lang ma-convert into meat, dali lang ma-convert into a growth. So yung na, no? Paspas mo tubo. Okay? Good quality carcass. Carcass kanang karne. So gwapo ang iyang karne, dili kaayo lapad ang iyang tambok. Kung dili, meaty or kaya onoron. So good quality carcass. Katong tanawon kung magpili ta, no? And in a selection, there is ways, there are some process of selection. So we have a natural selection, I mean to say survival of the fittest, no? Kana ang pinaka the best lang ang mabuhi. In natural selection, for example, na mga kalamidad, na extreme environments, ang uban nga mga mahina mamatay, ang uban nga mga ligon mabilin. That is the test of nature, survival of the fittest. Ana siya. No, katulad ngayon, so mayroon tayong problema sa coronavirus. Ang uban in taon mamatay, di ka survive, ang uban makarecover. So that is survival of the fittest. And we also have artificial selection. Okay? Based on sets of standards. Ito namang artificial selection. So kita magbuot unsang mga characteristic, unsang mga basis atong pag-select, no? In fact, there are some guidelines so that we will able to select the best animals to be incorporated in our herds, no? Okay. In fact, merong index, merong mathematical formula so that we can decide and agree on the standards and quality of that particular animals. So the basis of selection, kung magpili ta katong basihan is tanaw tong physical, no? Tanaw to ang makita sa tong mata, ang barog, abtik, no? Physical, anything that we can observe, may pwedeng basihan na to sa pagpili. Performance po, no? Kumusta ba ang history and kaliwat aning mga babuya? So, kumusta ba? Di ba sila mga masakiton? So, dali ba sila motubo? Tingnan natin ang performance sa genes, no? Base sa iyang mga ginikanan, mga igsuon. So, these are physical basis of selection, and we have the selection based on performance. So, of course, when we select, we have to examine the feeds, no? We have to examine physically, we have to observe everything about the pigs. So, we have some methods of selection. Okay, sinabi kanina merong artificial, merong natural, but the method of selections for selecting swine or animals to be incorporated in our herd is we have a method of selections which is known as pedigree. So, based on individual record of ancestry. So, tanawin ito ang mga records sa mga kaliwatan. So, dapat mayroon tayong database dito, no? Sa lineage or sa mga linya sa ilang mga igsuon, mga kaliwat, mga ginikanan, no? Asa ang iyang inahan, unsa iyang amahan. So unsa ang ilang performance, tingnan natin sa ilang record of ancestry, pedigree, no? And the method of selection, we have independent culling method. Selection is based on set of standard for its trait. So meron tayong standard for a particular trait. Failure to meet the standard, so kung di niya meet ang standard for a particular trait, will permit culling even the animal perform well in other traits. So pag sabing culling, atong siyang itagak sa ato ang di nato i-appeal sa ato ang herds nato, di nato i-appeal sa ato ang flocks. So tanggal tungod kay wala siya nakapasar sa standard nga gisit para ana nga particular traits. So that is independent culling method. So isa lang ka traits ang gitanaw, even the animal perform well in other traits. For example, kusog lagi mo tubo pero gagmay ra mag-anak, nya anayon nimo siya. So bisag kusog siya mo tubo nya gagmay siya anak, so wala siya, tagak siya sa imong flocks, tagak siya sa imong herd, no? So nga na ang independent culling method. And another is we have the tandem method. Okay, tandem method. This refers to the system which there is a selection for only one trait at a time until the desired improvement in that particular trait is reached. Now again, tandem method, this refers to the system in which there is a selection for only one trait at a time. Okay? Until the desired improvement in that particular trait is reached. The disadvantage of this tandem method, not possible to select one trait, no? Production income is dependent on several traits. So medyo disadvantage niya because ang production or income is dependent in several traits. Yung imong income from that animals is dependent on different traits. For example, ang tubo, di lang tungod sa isa ka genes, no? There could be different genes that would contribute to the growth, no, of the animals. So kada lang, no? So one trait at a time. So di siya sabay tanawon. That is the tandem method. So take note for that, no? Okay, the tandem method. So the other one is the use of selection index. Okay, so established to measure the individual traits of the breeds or breeders. So mean to say, so established to measure the individual traits. So gitanaw ang mga daghan ng mga traits, no? Tanawon nimo kumusta day iyahang tubo kada adlaw, anak, kusog ba? Kumusta day iyahang fat, ana, okay ba? Kumusta iyang feed conversion ratio, okay ba? So ibig sabihin atong i-measure ang individual traits, ato dayon siyang i-mix ang mga measurement ng individual traits, unsa dayon ang iyang kinatibuk-an nga index considering that multiple traits, no? So there is a formula in here on how to compute the selection index. Is meron tayong formula na SI or selection index equals 240, which is constant, plus the product of the 100 and the average daily gain. EDG is average daily gain, no? Sige, malibog mo. Average daily gain. Well, if you can recall, in our poultry last year, last semester, we have computed this in our chicken, no? The same formula in animals. So average daily gains, ADG. Then FCR is feed conversion ratio or the feed conversion efficiency. So ato na nang i-discuss, no, atong niaging mga semester about sa poultry natin. But be sure to recall feed conversion ratio, or it could be feed conversion efficiency, no? Efficiency. Sorry sa akong pagsulat, no, medyo hirap magsulat. So feed conversion efficiency. So meaning to say, sa feed conversion efficiency or feed conversion ratio is Sa isa ka kilo nga gikaon, pila ka kilo nga unod ang matubo ana. Singa na siya. Then also we have to look the traits for back fat. Ibig sabihin na yung tambok sa iyang likod, di ba? Di ta ganahan mo palit og mga karne nga baga kaayo og fat sa buko-buko. Sa baboy gusto to itong mga nipis og back fat. Moto'y maayo. Labi na sa mga pit train, so maayo ang mga pit train nga breeds. So this is the formula for selection index. So looking at different traits and considering all those traits to develop a certain index so that we can decide that particular animals is good to be retained or good to be culled. Culling natin, no? So sa selection index, as a method of selection, okay, 2 or more traits are considered at a time. So the higher index, the better performance will be expected. So sa ato pa, ang selection index mas maayo siya kumpara atong mga tandem, kumpara atong individual culling method, kumpara atong uban pa nga mga systems of selection or method of selection. So mas maayo ni, no, kung sa ato kung natin mga babuyan atong makumpara, mas maayo gining isa ka baboy kumpara aning isa ka baboy tungod kay makita na to ang iyang selection index. So klaro ta na, ha. Alright. So yun, no, I think for decision we have to end for that up to that portion, so that next meeting we have to discuss about how to select boars and how to select mga inayin o kaya mga boars and gelds or sow. So as a sort of review, so looking back, so we have discussed about the taxonomical classification. Okay, we have chordata, mammalia, artiodactyla, and so on and so forth. We also discussed the situation of the Philippines. We have the per capita consumption of meat, no? Look at that. Sorry. Okay. And then factors affecting the industry or affect the profit on cost of production in swine. We have reproduction, breeds and breeding, sound management, feeds and feeding, then health and diseases. Then we have different breeds and breeding system, no? Take that. Then, yan. Crossbreeds, we have. Okay. So you have basis of selection, you have physical and performance. Method of selection, pedigree, independent culling method, tandem, the selection index. That's it. So I guess that is all for that session. And next meeting we have to proceed with how to select boars and how to select sows and gelds for our swine production. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day, and that's it.